Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Waz. 10%. We got a 10% improvement. Enough to definitely make it to tea this morning. Good morning, Exception Carrie. Good morning, Carrie. Excuse me. Good morning. Good morning, baby. I have a neat quote this morning. Uh, Probably targeted towards women. So wait till a few more of our beautiful tea dolls are here. Good morning, nerdy. Marginally better. Marginally. I'll tell you, this winter is showing me I'm Californian, not Michigan bred. Sure love it here, but this is a struggle in winter. Been real cold and been trying to shake this business for months now. Good morning, Laura. Thank you for your good wishes. I appreciate you. Good morning. Get a couple more beautiful girls here. And I have a neat quote for the ladies today. Good morning, Sarah Barrett. Good morning, Nerdy and Kim Kim. Mr. Marmars, there's a good guy. Good morning, Wazzy. And Wazzy just gets them all in one comment. Boom, done. That's smart. Economy of comment. Remember to go to your chat options and hit live chat. If your setup is like mine, it automatically defaults to when I turn it on to top chat. And that means I only see certain messages. If you go to your chat option, there's an option for live chat. And that means you can see everybody's comments. I need to remind myself because sometimes I'm here for 15 or 20 minutes and I'm not seeing everybody's messages. So when I say that out loud to you guys, I'm actually reminding myself at the same time. Good morning, live chatters. Good morning. I feel like there's a lot of girls here already. Maybe I'm going to just start out with that situation. What do you think? Excuse me. Joe D's just said a chat filter from top messages to all messages. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. That's the message I'm trying to send. Good morning, everybody. At least I'm alive today. At most, I'm alive, actually. I'm pretty lucky. Terrible dreams last night. Terrible dreams. Weirdo dreams. T Crew Gang. At T Crew Gang. Remind me who that is. Who is at T Crew Gang? Remind me. Bud, you too, you've been struggling with this weather. It's me, Mr. Marmars. Okay, Mr. Marmars. T Crew Gang, I like it. So you have two channels going today? Because didn't you start out with the Mr. Marmars too? Oh, thank you, Marmars. So T Crew Gang must be having two channels going at the same time. Nice. Thank you for the extra likes. Good morning, Marky Z. Some people know him as the Riffmaster General. Right, Nerdy? It's a cute name. Good morning, Trenty. Kimberly, he's double dipping. Keep your chip out of the sauce. One dip only. Light shine. Good morning, Lighty. That could be too, huh, Joe? Good call. Good morning, Corey. That's a pretty good call, Joe. Could be. That could be part of it. Plus lag time. Good morning, everybody. Herbie runs 2 accounts. Grows so you know. Thank you for another like, Grosso. Thank you, Grosso. Herbie runs 2 accounts. Herbie, what's your other account? Can we know, or is it a burner account? You can't tell anybody. On his phone and on the TV. Cyber Jolie, marginally better. I gotta admit, I've gotta stay home one more day. It's killing my grow house. I lost a whole cycle because I hadn't been there for almost a week. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna stress and freak out over it like I used to. We can always start more. We can always start more. Big plant killer, says Mr. Marmar, says 4 accounts. I did see that, Kimberly. Michael Geeky is back. I saw that. Cyber, I'll tell you what. I've been adding stress to myself by knowing that things are sitting stagnant and dormant over there. But the more I freak out, the worse it gets. So stop freaking. DJ Stephen Pitts. Okay. I could picture you as a DJ for sure. I could definitely picture you as a DJ. All right, let's get this party started. I'm doing my reading this morning. I caught up on a little bit of reading yesterday, but not much. I was the Theraflu King and took a couple of other just over-the-counter things, and they knock you out. When you're not used to taking that stuff, you get drowsy, and the next thing you know, you wake up and it's time to go watch Mystic Journeys Church. And then I turned that on last night at 9 o'clock. About 9:05 I joined. That was the last thing I remembered. Seeing 3 handsome men's faces on the screen. And then next thing I know, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm waking from a creepy dream. Yeah, Mr. Marmars, that was my day yesterday. Can I tell you guys something? This is personal. This is personal. I've got to tell you guys this. I need to mop my floors. I haven't mopped my floors in like 2 weeks. And Ruffy runs out, goes to the bathroom, and comes running back in, and he tracks stuff. I need to get one of those doggy rugs by the door where it wipes his feet off when he comes in. Herbie, I did get knocked the fuck out. Excuse me. I've been a sleepyhead, Laura. But I need to mop my floors. Cyber Jolie's up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Cyber, I was just waking up from a bad dream. I could have had you over here mopping my floors. Kidding. Quote of the day. Quote of the day. A wise woman wishes to be no one's enemy. A wise woman refuses to be anyone's victim. I like it. Who said that? Who said that? Whose quote is that? A wise woman wishes to be no one's enemy. Sanum, you're all over it. Sanum's like, I got her books memorized, Pops. Maya Angelou. Wazzy, that was back in the day we mopped that floor. Remember that? I think DJ Stephen Pitts and Brock and Choop. Sanum nailed it, Kim. She is smart. She is smart. She's proven that a lot. A wise woman wishes to be no one's enemy. A wise woman refuses to be anyone's victim. The quote of the day by Maya Angelou reflects her belief that wisdom lies in balance between compassion and self-protection. Rather than framing empowerment as confrontation, the quote positions it as an internal stance rooted in clarity and self-awareness. A wise woman wishes to be no one's enemy. A wise woman refuses to be anyone's victim. Internal stance rooted in clarity and self-awareness. Jesus Christ, I knew you'd have to weigh in on that one. You goofball. Good morning. Is there a lot out here? Good morning. Good morning to Mello as well. Chili pepper while I'm sick. Might have to try it. I got a couple of neat informationals to come at you guys today. Waz nailed it. We forgot the third part of the quote. And a wise woman stays away from Jesus Christ in Australia. Ozzy, don't make me laugh. I'll start coughing. Oh my, that's so funny. And a wise woman stays away from Jesus Christ in Australia. Oh God, that's funny. That is really funny. Midwestern. Good morning. We don't do a lot of religious talk here, but we do philosophical ones. Oh, I know, like China. Oh gosh. Wazzy, stay away from. Some people are gonna go, what's wrong with Jesus? Why don't you just? You don't know Jesus Christ in Australia yet. Vegas wants me to take vitamin C and zinc. I've been chugging hot cider from NERS. But Sam, I agree with you. Waz nailed that one. That might be the joke of the day. Pretty good one. Oh. Echinacea. I always have a hard time saying that word. Echinacea. Sounds like I'm eating one of those chia plants. How many people ever did a chia plant? How many people ever did a chia plant? Do you guys remember chia plants? Chia. Chia. Who did a chia plant here? I've done chia. Watch those cute little leaves, cute little blades of grass grow. Chia. You had the. Anthony had the sheep. I think, what did I have? I forget what. Might have been the sheep. Okay, it might have. Chia pet. That's it. Jesus Christ, you don't know what that is? Maybe it's an American thing. Bob Ross was a chia pet? Was Bob Ross's head a chia pet? That would be a good one with his hair. Come on, was Bob Ross a chia pet? That's funny. Mello, you know a lot of stuff. What if there was a Pops chia pet? There's a Garfield? It actually was. That's funny. That's great. It would be kind of scary though. I don't want some dude's head in my kitchen growing grass hair. That's funny. Sandy P, if you get a picture, DM me on IG with it. Mello, the Pops chia pet with the green beard. I'm creeping out. It's freaking me out right now. Now I'm gonna have something else to dream tonight. Oh gosh. What a combination of terrible dreams. I would wake up and then I would, okay, I'm not gonna go back to sleep because if I go back to sleep too soon, it takes me back to the same dream. Then I'm back in it. And those are ones I don't want to go back to. So I would like lag and like, okay, don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. If you do fall asleep, go to a new dream. None of them were improvements over each other. Why did I set a car on fire? Why did I set a car on fire in one of my dreams? What kind of crime was I trying to cover up? What did I do in another dream that I was covering up in that dream? Well, last night I set a car on fire in my dream. Weird. Secretly an anarchist. I don't know, man. I woke up and I was like, man, I didn't mean to burn my car. Oh, wait, it was a dream. Woke up all sad because I didn't have a car. Uh-oh. Think I should check the garage? Oh, no. Do you guys think I should check a garage? In dream interpretation, Captain Obvious says the car is my body. Ah, so I set myself on fire. I have a feeling I should go check the garage. What did I do last night? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to buy into it. I'm not going to believe. I'm going to not believe. Good morning, everybody. We'll wake up roasting marshmallows. It is so cold. It's below 0 here. And it will be for the next 3 or 4 or 5 days. Yeah, nerdy. Nerdy, we do the same stuff. Oh, I didn't even think of that, Light. I didn't even think of that till you just said it. It could be like a side effect from some of the medicines I'm taking. Am I right? Am I right? Ah, it's a good call. Billy D's not here this morning, but he wrote me the nicest letter you could ever imagine last night. Give me 5 people that want to hear Billy's letter to Poppy. Nicest letter you could imagine. Herbie, it wasn't the Rolls Canardly. The Rolls Canardly's still in as terrible shape as ever. Thank you, Marmars. I'll check it out. The Chia Pet. You guys ready for Billy D's kindness? This is how it works around here. Okay? Hi, Pops. I'm sorry to see that you are under the weather, and I wish there was something that I could do to help you get through this. Bill's not here this morning, but getting this message from you, Bill, helped get me through. You are a good man, and your guidance in the tea group has been invaluable and a great inspiration to us all. That being said, if you need time to just rest and recuperate, please do so. So please, Pops, just take as much time as you need to get feeling like the lively and chipper teacher that we have, and are so lucky to have. That was so kind. I myself have been absent off and on due to my acute pain and fractured rest cycles, but just knowing that I can catch the replay and laugh and learn is a great help. So again, take care of yourself. We will all still be here if you take some time to rest and get better. Bill D. So it's a fear I have. I'm going to admit it. I'm going to say it. Here it comes. I don't want to take too many days off because I'm afraid I'm going to turn on my channel and you guys will all be gone. It's a true story. I'm worried that like if I took 3 days, 2-3 days off, I'd come back and there wouldn't be anybody left. You guys would be scattered to the four winds of the Tao. Mel will say, nah, Pops, you're stuck with us. But it is. It's something that's weird that I'm like, don't want that to happen. I don't want to burn up my car. Thank you, Niffer. Nerdy, I know. Feel guilty. That's how I feel. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Mel says. Let me tell you another fear I have, now that we're talking honest and fear. This one's a side fear, and I don't dwell on it. Because I'm a different brain in the last 6 years than I had been. But, excuse me. I have another fear. And it's a fear of dying in my sleep. Okay? And I live alone with Ruffy. Just Ruffy and myself. No one has a key to my place. No one has a key. Just me. And I lock everything up pretty tight when I go to bed. How are you guys going to find me? How are you guys going to find me? Like, what if I passed away? How many days would I be, like, under my blankets and Ruffy be, like, starving? How do we know? It's weird. I don't... And, well, that's my answer, Herbie. I literally called her yesterday. I said, Miss Rose, you've got to come over and you've got to get a key from me. Okay? You've got to get a key. I've got to give you a key so you can be checking in. She only lives 5 miles away. Isn't that weird, Nerdy, that I worry about that? Somebody please knock my door off its hinges. Okay, Captain Obvious. That's a good one. I'm going to work on this negative fear about death right now. Well, doesn't belong. Tribe says fear of death happens so much, we might still be worrying about it in the next life. Yeah. Okay, let's do something here. Mark, have a great day. Kimberly's willing to turn herself into cat food. Interesting. Nippy worries about losing Cleanie and Ava. I get that. No, Gorilla. Freaking me out. Maybe it's the proximity of my birthday and, add another year to the pile. I don't know. But I want you guys to find me if you don't hear from me in a day or two. Speaking of which, hear from me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I finally figured it out this morning. But my email, I hadn't seen emails come in for, let me say, close to a week. No emails coming in. And I'm like, what is going on with my email account? I don't see any email. Am people ignoring me because it's my birthday? Am I being tested? What's going on? Looking further into it, Google had suspended my email account due to the fact that I had used up too much storage. I had used up, and now all of a sudden I'm not receiving emails. So I figured out how to get the storage reduced just this morning, and a flood of emails came in. People that have been writing to me for a week. Once this morning, "Hey Pops, I've written you 3 times and I haven't heard back from you. Is everything okay?" Happened to Mello and he never got it back. It's crazy. So yeah, I have people out there thinking I'm deliberately or maybe not deliberately, but somehow or another being out of touch. Oh yeah, Niffy, Google wants more money. I think they want their annual raise. Well, we have it fixed now. And if you have sent me an email recently and I haven't replied, it isn't personal, I promise you. I'm not ignoring anybody. And then I also had a slew of stuff in my spam that I've never seen before, where it was direct, regular emails were going to my spam. So if you've sent me an email lately, send it again. All right, and I promise I'm on it now. Sandom pays for 2 terabytes. Is that a lot? That sounds like a lot. 2 terabyte, a terabyte, that's a lot. Is a terabyte more than a gigabyte? I think it is. $10 a month. Gosh, wow. You must have huge email stuff come in. A tera is more than a giga. Okay. So you guys have some ways. I see pictures. So you guys have ways to manage your accounts. Pops is still figuring this stuff out. 1,000 gigas is a tera. Okay. 1,000 gigas, that's a lot. Counterculture no more. So, final word on that. If anybody has been sending me emails and they haven't been getting replies from me, hit me up again. Okay? I'm still going to go through and try to reply all the ones that popped up. I'm going to go through and try to reply at some point today. But please understand, I didn't deliberately avoid anybody. I don't do that with my emails or my DMs. I try to answer them. Some DMs, I gotta be honest, or email, I don't reply that day because I plan on reading it on T. So sometimes if you don't get a reply, you might get mentioned in T the following day. And there you go, Nippy, no expectations. Now she's practicing. Counterculture no more. Once upon a time, psychedelics were considered fringe. The domain of hippies, ravers, and biohackers chasing the elusive flow state. Well, that fairy tale's over. The Rand Corporation just confirmed it. According to their new study, Rand Corporation, nearly 10 million Americans microdosed psychedelics in 2025. 10 million Americans. You are not alone, you sarcastic stoners. When the government contractors that helped create the internet start tracking your mushroom habit, you know we've gone mainstream. Rand surveyed 10,122 adults. Then it used population weights to project nationally representative estimates. Here's what they found. Shrooms reign supreme. 11 million adults used psilocybin last year, making it the most popular psychedelic. Microdosing is the norm. 69% of psilocybin users microdosed at least once, compared to 65% of MDMA users and 59% of LSD users. It's a regular practice. Nearly half, 47%, of all psilocybin use involved microdosing. Do the math. That means 3.7% of all U.S. adults either microdosed psilocybin, LSD, or MDMA in 2025. This is not hiding. This is, we can talk about it now stuff. Not for the popularity contest. Psilocybin dominated with 11 million users, followed by MDMA, 4.7 million users. Amanita muscaria, 3.5 million. This is last year. Ketamine, 3.3 million. And LSD, 3 million. Yeah, Amanita's top 3 ranking surprised us. But the fact that it's legal and often mislabeled on sketchy products may have inflated the number. We're going to talk about that in a minute. These data at an interesting time land at an interesting time. Since 2019, over 24 cities and counties have decriminalized psychedelics, and 4 states have introduced a legal path to access. Rand already warned federal policymakers to decide what they want these supply models to look like before a patchwork of local laws create an industry too difficult to regulate. Seems like plenty of Americans know what they want their supply model to look like. Moving forward, has anybody ever heard the saying, don't take candy from strangers? Has anybody ever told their kids that? Don't get in the white van. Don't get in that white van. And don't take candy from strangers. Well, reading the ingredient label just won't cut it these days. Denver Denver health inspectors just raided six. Good morning, RX. Denver health inspectors just raided 6 local smoke shops, and they seized polka dot branded chocolate bars and gummies that supposedly contained psilocybin. And surprise, surprise, lab tests found way more than mushrooms. To be fair, some of the confiscated products did test positive for psilocybin, which is decriminalized, but it's still illegal in itself in Colorado. But they also found cocktails of synthetic tryptamines, including 4-HOMET, 4-HO-DET, 4-ACO-DET. None of these compounds were disclosed on the labels. Even weirder, the samples pulled from different stores were inconsistent. One had pure psilocybin, another had synthetics only, and a third contained a mix of both. Admittedly, legalization is more nuanced than it sounds. See, Colorado's Natural Medicine Health Act did create legal paths for both facilitated and personal psilocybin use. But it explicitly barred retail sales, and it excluded synthetics. These unregulated products it shelves anyways. Now inspectors are forcing stores to pour bleach over their inventory. Literally. We find a product in your outfit and it's not legal to be sold in your outfit. Here's a bottle of bleach, pal. Boop, 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 boop. They're forced to pay hefty fines, and then they'll have to turn in their licenses if they're busted again. God help us if they rebrand the bleached edibles as a microdose cleanse. Yeah, after the regulators leave, just grab that bleached out stuff and resell it as cleansed. Sounds like something some of them would do, doesn't it? Is laughter a good medicine? Is laughter a good medicine? I know, Cleanie, why pour bleach over it? Just take it. Go get rid of it in your evidence narcotics lockers. I believe that laughter is a good medicine. Science is starting to really look into it. Laughing gas may be too. If laughter is a good medicine, what about laughing gas? Scientists at the American University of Beirut just found that nitrous oxide shows the potential to treat PTSD by growing new brain cells. Thank you, Sam. For their study, they put rats through severe stress via immobilization, forced swimming, and anesthesia. Oh, poor little rats. Forced swimming. Keep swimming till you drown. This traumatic protocol suppressed neurogenesis in the hippocampus, a brain region essential for memory and emotional regulation. They then treated half the stressed rats with nitrous oxide over several days. The treated rats showed significantly reduced anxiety and robust growth of new neurons. The untreated rats, however, stayed impaired, poor guys. PTSD is still a major unsolved problem. Many people simply don't seem to respond to SSRIs and talk therapy. And while MDMA has shown the most promise among psychedelics, it's still unapproved. Nitrous oxide, on the other hand, has a known safety profile from decades of medical use. The FDA has warned consumers not to inhale recreational nitrous products, however. I'm not supporting it. I'm just reading an article. I don't have enough information to have an opinion. Now let's see if the results translate from rat studies to humans. If so, that saying, just breathe, could go from a platitude to a prescription. I don't think I'm talking about whippets, but again, I don't know. I don't know what that, I've never done any of that inhaling, the whippets, I've never done any of that stuff personally. So I don't know. Captain Kev, that sounds pretty dangerous. I'm never a huffer. I was never a huffer, just a puffer. I huff more than I puff. And then I get my car burned in my dream. "35th verse of the Tao Te Ching. 35th verse of the Tao. All men will come to him who keeps to the one. They flock to him and receive no harm. For in him they find peace and security and happiness." You want to be that guy. You want to practice. Who wants to be that guy or gal? All men will come to him or her who keeps to the one. They flock to him or her, and they receive no harm. For in him they find peace and security and happiness. Isn't that what we all seek? Music and dining are passing pleasures, yet they cause people to stop. How bland and insipid are the things of this world when one compares them to the Tao. When you look for it, there's nothing to see. When you listen for it, there is nothing to hear. When you use it, it cannot be exhausted. Living beyond worldly pleasures. Take a few moments before we go on and ask yourself the following question. I want you to do this in your mind right now. I'm going to ask a question, and I want you to think about your answer. When I think of pleasure, what activities readily come to mind? How do I distinguish between what I find enjoyable and what I don't? What activities readily come to mind? We already knew that one, Jesus. You didn't even need to tell us. Okay? That guy. Oh, God. Activities that come to mind for me: fishing, reading, gardening. Those are things that come to my mind. Granny's going sex, food, weed, and laughter. I love it. Yes, and I'm literally lost a whole grow. 40 tubs. Poof. And I haven't been over there in, I think, 4 to 5 days now. And when I go over, it's going to be a real mess. I'm going to have to clean everything up, get everything cleaned up, and start fresh. And then it's going to be about a 20-day. I do have bags that are inoculated, that are ready to put into a tub, mixed with my substrate. But we went down for the count. You know, if you end up with 1 month off out of a year, that's not too bad. And the whole growing thing has just been really rough. Really, really rough. Been my hardest winter. Gardening for sure, Sammy P. I love to garden, both regular gardening and then mushroom gardening. I love it. Generally, pleasure is described as something experienced by the senses and available here in the world of form. Perhaps you experience it in a sumptuous meal, in your favorite music, or on the golf course. But it's most certainly a welcome motivating force for you. Problems can occur, however, when such pursuits become the primary focus of life. In other words, an emphasis on worldly pleasures can quite easily create an imbalance in your system, leading to upset and dis-ease. Obesity, eating disorders, drug and alcohol abuse, addictions of every description, and preoccupations with plastic surgery are just a few of those undesirable results. Have you ever seen the one where they do plastic surgery and it's a legit deal? You got a nose you just haven't been able to handle for your whole life. Get it fixed. It's okay. But because you got your nose fixed, now you all of a sudden have to get a butt lift, and you have to get a this, and you have to get a that, and it starts getting out of control. Be careful. It becomes its own addiction. When we talk about addictions, we rarely add plastic surgery into the group. But you guys have seen the people that are like, whoa, what doctor did that? Some of these people, those cannot be real lips. They can't be. It's impossible for a lip to look like that. What beauty system told someone that lips the size of your refrigerator are going to be attractive? I don't know. I'd like to tell her that it's not, but it's none of my business, so I leave her alone. Excuse me. Most everything defined as pleasurable is temporary. So if you need more and more of it, then it has a grip on you. What you desire so strongly has become your jailer, trapping you into believing that it will bring you peace and serenity and happiness. Right? No, it looks like they got stung by a bee. A whole hive of them. Worldly pleasures only seduce you into becoming dependent on them. And they leave you always wanting for more. It's a craving that can never be satisfied. You need another great meal in order to have that pleasure again, because it vanished almost immediately upon completion of your dessert. You need to keep the music playing, because when it stops, your enjoyment stops too. All addictions scream out this depressing message. You'll never, ever get enough of what you don't want. Contract this bleak picture of pleasure with what Lao Tzu calls bland and insipid, with the ecstasy of the Tao. I point like this because I'm pointing outside to nature. I'm pointing to the 10,000 things. Of course, that's a small number. It's just an example number of the infinite, of the infinity of the Tao. The ecstasy of the Tao. Just for a moment, imagine having the perspective of the Tao as you read this verse. And see if you can change the way you look at this idea of pleasure. The benefits of having a concept that harmonizes with the Tao are outlined in the opening lines of the verse. All people will flock to you, and they'll find peace, security, and happiness when they do. The reason why they'll discover these three jewels is because you exude the qualities. Your emphasis is on the Tao. It's who you are, and therefore what you have to give away. You're now changing the way you look at things. So your idea of pleasure shifts beyond the worldly nudges of your own senses. You taste your food, but you're in awe of the magic that produced the delectables that you're eating, as well as the perfection of this incredible cycle that continues in the elimination and reuse of what you've consumed. What we consume gets recycled. The infinity of it is just it's boggling when you boggle yourself. The constant behind this ever-changing world becomes your new source of pleasure, expressed in the wonder and bewilderment you feel. Of course, you continue to enjoy your meals, but your pleasure now is in being at one with what all allowed it to transpire. You know that you can't find, hear, see, or touch the source, yet it's always available and can never be depleted. Greg Avery says I flipped him off. I don't think I did, Greg, but if I've done something untoward to you, would you write to me and tell me what it is? I'll do what I can to fix it. I don't remember flipping you off. I don't think I did that. And if it's a matter of an email not returned, earlier I explained I've been having email issues. B. Hendricks, I'm with you. I want to be bewildered every day. You can't find, hear, see, or touch the source, yet it's always available, and it can never be depleted. The music that you hear isn't the Tao. The Tao is the invisible energy that fills the empty spaces that give you so much joy. And that happiness you feel is the eternally available and longed for pleasure of transcending the physical limitations of this body. Touching the Tao is way beyond any of the sensory pleasures that we somehow believe will satisfy that long-held need for transcendence. Addictions become impossible because you no longer try to get worldly pursuits to satisfy you. It's like realizing you can fly when you've been walking faster and faster but never getting enough speed or altitude. He kept trying to satisfy a natural longing to be aloft through the pleasure of rapid walking. Now you observe the way nature flows. You clearly see it never asking for more, never using up more, and absolutely never demanding that it be provided with more than is necessary to maintain a perfect balance. The realm of passing pleasures is no longer your central place of self-identification. You're at peace, feeling secure and happy because you've changed your worldview to include the infinite. How could addictions ever compare? How could addictions ever compare? When you got that fish on the line, you're out in nature, and you're reeling it up, and you can't wait to see what it is. And you pull out a big 24-incher. You guys know about taking that first hit, and you get your bells ringing, your ears start to ring, and then the rest of the time you're chasing. One's too many and 1,000's not enough. That's never happened in nature to me. It's never once happened. There is no such thing as one fish is too many and 1,000 are not enough. Yeah, Herbie, you hear that train coming, and you chase that sound again and again, but you usually only hear it once. Right, Greenie, fish on or deer down. It's an incredible. I wish I'd known that before I took my first sniff. Imagine a heroin addict believing that peace, security, and happiness are available with an inexhaustible supply of opiates. Let me say that again. So imagine a heroin addict that he really believes I can achieve peace, security, and happiness if I only had an inexhaustible supply of heroin. That scenario is impossible because the pleasure that drug brings lasts just a few seconds. And then the opposite of peace, security, and happiness clicks in. Been there. Been there. It's a very brief pleasure. And after that, you're at the curtains staring out, filled with paranoia. And the crazy thing is, because you don't have a Tao-centered life, you go back and you do it again. And again. And you gamble again. And you get another surgery. And you eat a whole nother pack of donuts. Goes on and on. Because you're chasing the pleasure. And you're not aware. You're not living a life that's centered in infinite pleasure. The addict keeps trying to fly by running faster. Ultimately, he comes to despise his life, and he destroys himself in the process. Such is the destiny of those who seek the pleasures of the world or of the senses to fulfill their longing, to fulfill their natural ability to transcend the physical plane. Here's what Lao Tzu is offering you. in this profound verse of the Tao Te Ching. Notice the eternal bliss that's always with you, even when the delicacies are out of sight. Change your way of thinking of yourself as a totally physical being. Instead, recognize that worldly pleasures that tend to be overdone are attempts to transcend the physical, which isn't going to happen without tapping into your natural connection to the Tao. Stop equating sensory delight with the Tao-inspired bliss that's available. Enjoy all that you experience through the senses. Love your fine dining. Bask in the melodies of your favorite music. And be appreciative of the excitement. Oh, Jesus Christ is going to like this one. And be appreciative of your excitement of sexual energy. But notice that this is all coming from your sensory self, which is happily adaptable to this world. Then seek your Tao self, which transcends the physical. Explore those pleasures. Re-examine what true, lasting enjoyment is. Even though the effects of the Tao may initially have no appeal to your seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling faculties, they will fulfill that longing that you've had and that you've been trying to sate with worldly pleasures. When you're chasing any passing fantasy, begin recognizing its value in the here and now. But stop trying to get it to satisfy a greater longing. Introduce transcendent thinking and thankfulness to your everyday life. Make it a daily practice. I'm almost done. Make it a daily practice to give thanks for the presence of the eternal Tao that's always with you. A daily practice to give thanks. From an appreciative viewpoint, the world that you formerly desired will begin to look different. I'm reading this to you guys, but I know it's true because it's working for me. I am on this path. This isn't some pie in the sky, you go name it and claim it. This is a daily practice. Being grateful. And then when you're in the midst of something that's a sensory pleasure, recognize it for the sensory pleasure that it is, and know that that's fleeting. Chasing more of same pleasure does not get you to transcend. It turns you into a prisoner of that pleasure. And guess what happens to the pleasure? It becomes your jailer. Your pleasure becomes your handcuffs. You started out really enjoying it. And the next thing you know, that pleasure owns you. Because you forgot about the infinite wisdom of the Tao. Many people didn't forget about it, they never knew. It's kind of, if you're filled with love and goodness and kindness, this is one of the things you want to share with people. What does the bottom of the last verse say? When you look for it, there's nothing to see. Because the infinite energy of the Tao is not visible. When you listen for it, there's nothing to hear. It's not audible. When you use it, the infinite energy, when you use it, it cannot be exhausted. You want to get addicted to something? You want an inexhaustible supply of something to be addicted to? Try the Tao. What used to be a need for a worldly delight is replaced with gratitude and contentment for being aware of the aspect of you that is the Tao, free of physical and earthly limitations and confinement. Those handcuffs that those pleasures put on us. Living with conscious appreciation will attract more people and more experiences, which will enrich your balance of mortal and eternal awareness. My mortal awareness, I'm going to die, is completely balanced. If that's all I focused on, I'd be a mess. I'd be a wreck. But it's a little something in there for me. How can I balance that? By being aware of the eternal energy and being grateful and being content with what I have. I have more than many people will ever have on the planet Earth. I'm blessed beyond blessings. I'm good. Now I want to share that. You know when you see it, the lights go on in someone's eyes, and they're like, whoa, I never knew that. I never thought that. I'd never heard that before. That's what you get to be. You get to be the light turner honor guy, gal. Go turn the lights on people's lives. It's way better than any hit of cocaine you can take. Cocaine turns lights out, and all the other substances. The eternal bliss of the Tao turns lights on. And it makes you an attractive person. People want to be around someone like that. They don't want to be around somebody with a needle sticking out of their arm. I don't. If I went in someone's house and there was a needle sticking out of their arm, metaphorically even, I'd want to hang around here. I don't think this place is going to be very good for me. I got to get out of here. The people that are constantly complaining, people that are constantly talking negative about themselves, people that are constantly searching for some kind of transitory pleasure, and you know it. You're watching them do it and go, that's never going to get, that's not your answer. You know those people. What do you do? If you're like me, I avoid them. Those people don't have a lot of friends. They don't have a lot of friends. And now you're sad and you're lonely. Living with conscious appreciation will attract more people and more experiences, enriching your balance of mortal and eternal awareness. Open yourself to the unlimited love and abundance of the Tao, and you'll attract more love, and you'll attract more abundance. Do you guys believe in that? Do you believe in the law of attraction? I 1000% believe in the law of attraction. What did Mr. Marmar say? That's very well said. I believe in the law of attraction. I'm reading your comments, that's all. Great comments this morning, as usual. Your world has changed because you see the Tao where you previously only noticed your mortal self needing worldly pleasures. A very quick exercise. You want to prove a little of this to yourself? You're the type of guy that learns like I do by I need to experience it to fully believe it. I have a doubting Thomas head. I like empirical evidence. If you can see it, feel it, and touch it, then it's real. If you can experience it, then it's real. If not, I'm not sure yet. I need more convincing. I'm experiencing this, you guys, in my life. To the degree that I can't stop sharing these verses every morning. I can't stop. I don't want to stop. I shouldn't have to stop. I need to share. This is who I am. I didn't know that. I thought that who I am was the guy that's going to win. I don't care about winning today. I care about giving. Do this. Go on a 24-hour fast. When you feel hunger pains, switch your thoughts to gratitude for the eternal force that's within you. Warmly let your physical self know that it will be fed when the fast is over. Then switch to the Tao self that's unaware of hunger. Enjoy the different nature of the Tao self by concentrating on locating its energy flowing through your body. It will reveal itself, perhaps as contented, exhilarated, or blissful. Note the difference between how this feels compared with worldly pleasures. I swear sometimes, right, Sam? I swear sometimes, and if we are fasting, and you get those hunger pains, you can feel them. And then the hunger pains go away if you start focusing on the eternal energy of the universe instead of your own physical needs. Because your body, you tell it, don't worry, little hunger pains, I'll be feeding you tomorrow morning at a break fast, sometimes known as breakfast. But today, let's feel the Tao. The hunger pains go away. And they're replaced by, I cannot believe how beautiful this world is. This is the truth and it works. Fasting is also pretty healthy to do on occasions. So, thanks for listening today. 4 things. Be impeccable with your word and your actions. Realize how powerful you are. These things that we learn here together in the morning, imagine the power you have when you can share them with other people. Number 2, don't take things personal. I'll give you my perfect example today. If you hadn't received an email from Pops in the last few days, you are sitting there taking it personal. Pops doesn't like me. Pops this he's ignoring me. Little did you know I was having a technical error issue. You couldn't have known. But you spent any energy thinking anything other than taking it personal, you would have spent negative energy. You had no idea that I couldn't reach you, that I didn't even receive your email. Be careful what we take personal. We should take nothing personal. There's a reason. Most things have reasons. Thirdly, don't have expectations or assumptions. I had them. I was dashed, thrown to the ground. I had 40 tubs going. Anybody think I had expectations? Give me 5 people that said, if I had 40 tubs going, I probably have expectations. Well, I learned a lesson. As much as I sit here and preach it over and over and over, to you and to myself, do you think I had expectations of those tubs? I did. I expected them to grow mushrooms. Now that they're not, my expectations are dashed. What if when I planted them I was such a good practitioner of the third agreement that I'm just going to plant them and what happens is going to happen? I wouldn't have had to experience the pain and frustration of the loss. Does that make sense? Come on, guys, this is making sense. Oh, I don't do my best when I plant a tub and I'm already counting how many shrooms are going to come out of it. That is not my best. My best is to plant the tub and tend to it with love and care and get what the Tao gives. Does that make sense? Give me 5 people and I'm going to get you guys out of here. The agreements are so beautiful when we're working them. And the more you practice, the more you know when you're out of practice. You know, more you know, like, look, I blew the 3rd step on that one. And then when you tell yourself I blew it and it didn't feel good, that's a reminder that the next time you can fix it. Good morning, Dan. Nice to see you here. So thank you guys. Thank you for listening. Daily practice, HB reminds us. Do your best. Thank you guys. Today was pretty good. I coughed a little bit. I barely wiped my nose once or twice. Not too bad. I'm doing better. Thank you guys for all the kind wishes and the love and support that you send old Papa Root. I appreciate you guys more than you will ever know. There, I cough now because I mentioned it. Let me scroll you guys out of here by saying thank you, Sanam, for being here, and Captain Kev, and Kimberly, thank you, and Jesus Christ in Australia, the funny guy, and Joe Dees. Joe Dees says fasting is actually destroys cancer cells and other cells that shouldn't be in our body. Once the fast begins to work, God made no mistakes when creating us. Nice. Anthony Hunt, what a nice man. Thank you, Anthony. Santa Mello, Yamika Man, Jesus Christ and Herbie, and Captain Kev. The old saying, I did it, I was counting chickens. B. Hendricks, Mr. Marmars, HB. Look, funny. I love HB and JCIAs. They're cracking me up, those two. I truly believe they actually like each other. Sanam, talking about wisdom and expectations. HB Cleany. Joji's Freddy the Hinky Hinkleton. Herbie. Nurture it and let whatever happens may. As we practice, we understand that it's not as easy to do as we say, but we get better at it the more we practice. Dando, nice to see. Cleany Nippy, there's my girl. Anthony Joji's Laura, divine, have a divine day. HB's practicing. Nippy, Jesus Christ in Australia. Aaron, HB, Herb, Sanum. Excuse me, Glassic. Thank you, Kimberly. Nippy, Jesus Christ, Jodies. Nurs. There it is. That's good advice, Nurs. Thank you. Kimberly, green table, love you, boss. You too. Excuse me, now I'm coughing. Okay, Freddie. And Cyber Jolie, there's a pretty lady, nice lady. Mr. Marmars. Gosh darn it. There, I think we got it. Here we go. We can finish now. Trenti, HB, B. Hendricks, Pidgey Page, Sozo LSD, Nippy, Freddie the Hinkster, Sarah Bear, Big Hug, Nippy, Mr. Marmos, JCIA, Vaggie, you have a fantastic day too, sweetheart. Mello, Jesus Christ, Sarah Bear, the Wizzy, the Waz, the Wazzy, the Wazzy, Wazolio, Wazheim, Wazster, goes on and on. HB, Jimmy Max, Joe D's, I love Jesus in Australia too, and I understand his humor. Sammy P, Mr. Marmars, Mr. Phillips, Mike Buddy Ball, Jesus Christ, and HB, and Mr. Marmars, thank you for being here. Sanum, Saging It Up, and Nurs, Pops, peace. We went long today. I guess I was happy to be back. The pleasures of this world are transitory, you guys. Get to be 68 and you'll start looking back and go, I can't believe that I chased that crap for as long as I did. And I chased all kinds of different piles of crap. None of them made me happy. You know what makes me happy? This. Bob's peace, love, give. Right, Sanum? Right, Aaron? Spent so much of my life chasing piles of crap. I got some of them. And they didn't change. Didn't make me as happy as I thought I was going to be when I get that pile. This is the happy pile. Have a great day, love.